can get the farm for James Harden, you do it.
Daryl Morey's gone, and D'Antoni's gone. And the players on the Rockets, the best players, Harden and Westbrook, are like, well, what's going on?
Those last two voices you heard, you could, of course, hear every weekday morning on ESPN. First Take, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, both weighing in on what's going on with the Houston Rockets, and it's a pleasure to have Stephen A. join us this morning before he hits the First Take set in 44 minutes, not too far from where the three of us are sitting. Good morning, Stephen A.
What up, S.A.?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good.
Excellent. Thank you, Stephen A. Woj reported this morning on SportsCenter the possibility of James Harden making his way to the Brooklyn Nets, which obviously would reunite him with Kevin Durant. You throw Kyrie Irving into the mix. What do you make of that even being a possibility?
Well, I think it's a possibility. How big of a possibility it is remains to be seen. Because if you're the Brooklyn Nets, obviously with James Harden making over $38 million, you've got a situation and being owed about $132.9 million over the next 3 years. You've got to move some parts. Karis LeVert would have to be gone. Spencer Dinwiddie would have to be gone. Probably multiple picks will come along with it. And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you have to ask yourself this question: without James Harden, where are we right now? I think they could easily be deemed the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference right now without James Harden. With James Harden, they'd obviously, I think that you could have a debate between them and the Lakers as to be the favorites to win it all. But really, if you're the Brooklyn Nets, I still think that you're looking at a trip to the NBA Finals with the roster that you currently have if KD and Kyrie gives you what they're supposed to give you. And so you've got to make a decision if you're Brooklyn, because in the case of Tillman Fertitta in Houston, you're looking at a guy in James Harden that's averaged at least 29 over the last 4 years, over 32 over the last 3 years, over 30 actually, over the last 3 years. He's one of the prolific scorers this game has ever seen. He's just a magician on the offensive side of the ball. And, you know, he's been in the league for 11 years, about 32 years of age. Even though that's the case, you still can ask for the farm for him. So you're not going to accept peanuts for him, and somebody's got to be willing to put together a deal that will enable you to get strong compensation for his services. Not as much may be required to get Russell Westbrook, who is a star, but nevertheless, he's not James Harden. And either way you slice it, Houston definitely is in the throes of a remake, a retool right now.
S.A., let me ask you this. You follow a lot of basketball. We talk intricacy basketball all day, every day. That's all you and I do. How many players in your time have you seen bounce back to a superstar level after they've torn their Achilles?
Well, really nobody, to be quite honest.
That's my question for you. Doesn't it make sense if you're Sean Marks to go in as hard as possible on a guy like James Harden, knowing that you hope KD can be great, but you still don't know how he's going to come off that?
It does make sense, no question. That's a strong point on your part, obviously, but I will tell you this. I'm not concerned about KD at all. I think KD is on average a minimum of 25 a game. When you're 6'11", you got a 7'6" wingspan with ball handling skills, and you're a sniper, a long-range sniper, then I'm not concerned about you. Now, if you were Russell Westbrook, if you were a Derrick Rose, if you were somebody whose success was strongly predicated on your athleticism, that would be a different ball game. But think about this. Even devoid of the athleticism we're accustomed to seeing from him, at 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan and the ability to pull up from 30, he's still going to be able to get his shot off on most occasions. And as a result, because he is KD, I believe he can average 25 a game in his sleep. But there's no denying that your argument is profound from the standpoint that because he's coming off of an Achilles, even though it's been a year and a half now, it's one of those situations where you look at him and you say, okay, if you're Sean Marks, you want to go all in to deliver a championship to Brooklyn, New York. That would be tremendous. So I don't disagree with you there.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.